Hello everybody, this is episode 2 of Blurb Podcast.
Podcast! That sounds so much tastier.
Yeah, okay, so with me today we have David Dunn.
Woo! Me.
Oleg Brasnik.
It's me again.
Damien Bean.
Huzzah!
Our newcomer. Yay! We got new friends.
And Dean Gaffney. Welcome back. So,
And of course, Vlad Vection, our host.
Me, the host, Vlad Vection. So, we had a few technical difficulties with our original second podcast.
We did. I disgraced my family.
So we would have had a podcast up last week, but you know, things happen.
Just like any display of E3.
Right.
Shots fired.
So yeah, this is episode 2.5, you could say. And we're going to cover some of the news from last week and some news from this week.
Perfect.
So first off, Borderlands, the pre-sequel was announced by 2K. So it's being developed by 2K Australia, not Gearbox this time, the original developer of Borderlands 1 and 2. So it's set in space, and Claptrap is a playable character. What do you guys think?
I like the Claptrap. I haven't played the games very much, but anything I've seen of Claptrap, I like. He's funny. So
I kind of like that they're taking a Borderlands 2 game and just adding new mechanics to it, and I think that would be pretty cool. There's a jetpacks and double jumps and ground
Cryo
slide.
freezes and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
that all sounds good. All sounds good.
All your
Oxygen
options.
as well,
Yeah.
I thought that was quite
There you go. Strategic, tactical. Well,
No,
you can say that about Borderlands.
a bit too much now. We don't know yet.
That's true.
For me, as you said, like what it looks like so far is just more Borderlands 2 with a little bit of refinement, a little bit more mechanics. And for me, I'm one of those people who I played all of Borderlands 2, played it both there, had a great time, and that was enough for me. I didn't buy any of the DLC. I won't buy this.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Also, I fucking hate Claptrap.
To me, yeah, I played a good bit of Borderlands 2, never finished it. But it was an enjoyable game, it was a fun experience. The only thing is, to me, it seems like it's more of a DLC pack rather than a full-fledged game. I mean, it's not coming out for next-gen consoles.
It is saying there's a full-fledged game.
I know it is saying that. They're saying it's a little bit smaller than Borderlands 2, bigger than Borderlands 1.
Well, I do like that people aren't just ignoring the previous or the current gen consoles, whatever you call them nowadays.
I know,
I mean, I like that. I like that people are still making games for them.
I mean, that's great, yeah. But we... Like,
I mean, none of us here have next gen consoles.
Yeah, but think... Why is that? Because there are no games for next gen consoles.
True.
There's a few games you might want to play, you kind of like the look of, but there's nothing really to sell us. I mean, there's nothing really out there.
Not yet.
Yeah, exactly.
With the likes of Watch Dogs and Division.
Yeah. So by the end of the year, maybe there will be.
Yeah.
There will be a lot more incentive for us to actually purchase these consoles. Right now, you know.
It takes time for hardware to actually include the software to make it worth the purchase. That's just how it is.
So yeah.
Oh, and actually, just to point out as well, we've had a small discussion there about whether or not it's DLC or a new game. I mean, let's reach back into the ancient annals of video gaming and recall the artifact that was the expansion pack. Because that's kind of what this is.
So
It's made by a different company. It's sold separately.
So many expansion packs are made by different companies.
That's the definition.
I know, but to me it seems like it's a full-fledged game. It looks like it's a proper full game, just like
That's what an expansion pack is.
I suppose
Like
if you look at the Arkham Asylum series, you've got like the two that were made by Rocksteady, and then you've got the one that was made by the Warner Brothers studio, the Origins.
Isn't that reused like a lot of assets from?
Yeah, it was pretty much
That's an expansion pack.
Carbon copy. Except for new content.
full-fledged game, though. You know.
Same assets, new content.
Yeah, but you can say that about Borderlands 2 from Borderlands 1. But if you look at Borderlands 2, it was far more fleshed out, as opposed to just being missions where you go here, kill 100 zombies, or pick up 50 feathers, or whatever, and come back. It had a story, and if you actually, as I did, if you got the DLCs, the final DLC, which was the Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, that almost was a fully fledged game. It was a new area, a new story, it had hours of entertainment, and I loved it.
Cool. That's fair enough. We have a lover of Borderlands there.
Brilliant.
I just want to play them on my own.
See, I have both games. I cannot find the time to play them.
Okay, so we're just going to move on to some hardware news now. We love our hardware news.
Oh, we do.
We do.
I love my
We're
hardware.
tech.
Here we go.
We have Amazon announced that they're releasing an Android console by the name of the Fire TV. It's €99.99. But if you want to play many of the games on it, you actually have to purchase a controller, which costs about €40. So that adds the cost up, and you're talking about €140 for a I think they're placing Netflix and a few Android games.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
At the end of the day, Amazon they hit home with the Kindle. Like it was a huge success, and I think they should have just left it at that. I mean, now they've got. I mean, when we originally recorded podcast 2, which sadly we couldn't release it because the quality was so bad. We talked about the Kindle Fire, and since then, Amazon, well, not Amazon themselves, but people have found leaked pictures of the Amazon phone. So I don't think Amazon should be really getting into hardware as much as they are because it doesn't suit them, and nobody ourselves
Well,
are.
just because they had a failed phone flying around. I mean, lots of companies
Just because they have a
No. I understand as well, but I can't see myself ever owning an Amazon phone, nor owning
But
Amazon.
you don't want to
They have a very
No, but
successful
they-
tablet.
No,
So they've succeeded in the tablet market. It's only fair to move to a different one.
Well, no, if you're aware of the news, in the last 24 hours, there actually have been rumours and specifications and specs released of the Amazon smartphone.
Yeah, with the 6
Going
cameras.
with the- Yeah.
fixed
Like,
cameras.
why would you need a 3D phone? Like, why
Exactly.
would you need
Yeah.
your application buttons to look like it's in 3D?
Yeah.
But anyway, I suppose back to the Kindle.
Back to the game.
Back to the Kindle Fire thing. I don't see myself ever playing games on a Kindle Fire. It's an Ouya, but I don't know if it's going to be connected to the Android store or whether it's Amazon's own fledged store and it'll be kind of slightly
It's
disconnected.
Amazon have their own little Android store where they put they manage it and they put the games that they want to be on it.
Yeah.
So it has to be approved by Amazon. It's tied into the Android marketplace, but they kind of segment it. They kind of take it out, take the apps that they don't like.
Much
Yeah.
like most of the smartphones, like Sony and Samsung Galaxies have their own sort of...
Yeah, but they still
in-app
access.
games.
Yeah,
They can
so
still
it's sort
access
of
the
like
standard
that.
store.
Sort of like
They-
that.
they
Except
follow
with Amazon, they force you that you can't
Yeah.
access the actual.
Like at the end of the day, I don't see their market as us. It's not us because we have our consoles. We're going to play on our PlayStations or Xboxes or PCs, whatever.
Or
And
your
it's
Ouya.
not or an Ouya, if you so wish. And it's not for people who already have Netflix devices like Roku's or even some people with PlayStations and Xboxes. It's kind of for that untapped market of the 30-40-year-old man, who just has abundance of of monies. We call them monies.
It seems like a family device.
A family device more than
Marketing
anything.
is that, though, at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, of course. That's amazing.
I really disagree because, first of all, the device is better than the Ouya because it's more powerful.
True.
So there you go. That already wins over the Ouya. It's better than more powerful than
But the
Roku.
Ouya bomb.
Or
No,
It's fine.
it did really well on Kickstarter. And then, it took forever for them to actually come out with it.
let's put that to poor management
Yeah.
as opposed to the
Possibly,
actual
yeah.
device being
Yeah.
a bad device.
Look, at the end of the day, come Christmas, it'll sell like hotcakes, but we're not. I'm not going to buy one. We're not going to target.
I think we are the target market. Why
Yeah.
not? It makes any TV into a smart TV and a
I have a Chromecast.
casual gaming console, and that's fine. But if you didn't have a Chromecast,
True.
this is something that you could have considered.
Yeah, but it's not that you can't really call it the gaming console because it's just a tablet with no screen.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
See, they're not marketing it as a games console, though, are they?
Well, they are
No, it
because they
doesn't-
made a game
doesn't
for
come
it.
But they're not
Hey,
saying.
actually,
They're not
you use-
saying
you have
it's
to
a
use
games
your Android
console.
device.
Device.
They actually made a game for it, which looks like a little bit like a Halo clone,
Oh yeah.
and people say it's
Yeah.
actually okay.
Yeah, actually, they had their own studio now.
Yeah, they took over that studio. I can't remember the name of it. Oh.
It's really bizarre for you to imagine Amazon doing anything except being a delivery, not a delivery company, excuse me, an online video.
It has a
Yeah.
Oh, I know they have all
Store,
these
it has
things.
a-
It's just
video streaming service.
as a guy who's kind of been,
Double Helix Games. That was the-
intentionally closed off to this kind of thing for
But-
quite a while.
With,
It
with,
seems really bizarre to me that it's just like this retailer, this online retailer just has all of this and is expanding the business so much.
I read this on Gadget one day, and it was just saying, well, the reason that they can do all these things is because they have a safety net. And the safety net is this massive online retail store, so they can go into practically any...
Oh, it's just like Tesco.
Where
If
they
you
want-
look at
You
Tesco,
mean a big
wouldn't
reason
surprise me if in a
that
few
they'll-
years
they'll
Tesco's
have
move into
money,
the
right?
video gaming market in some way, shape, or form. I mean, considering they have a movie streaming service now, and who knows, maybe in a few years they'll start putting money into that. Maybe they can set up a video game streaming service similar to the
Yeah.
PlayStation. They're the big boys in I suppose in
They
retail.
have the money.
They have the money behind them that they can do. They can
Well,
do pretty much anything they like.
having game streaming services proved to just not work.
Well, we haven't experienced it ourselves here yet,
Yeah.
but no.
Because our internet sucks.
The Sony
Yeah,
one.
but even where-
What's the Sony one called? The
PlayStation now.
PlayStation Now. I mean, from what reviewers have said of it, it seems to work. There's no lag
There's a little bit
issues.
latency.
Is there a little bit of latency?
There will
Single
always be a
player games-
little bit of
Yeah.
I mean, single player games would be grand on this.
Yeah,
No problems at all.
Yeah.
But the problem is if you want to play like a fast-paced multiplayer shooter, for example, Call of Duty or something like that. I mean, you
install it on your
No.
machine.
Yeah.
it won't work.
Fast paced, they've only been playing Doom.
Well, yeah, I mean, actual fast pace, yes. But I gave the example of Call of Duty because it's a modern game.
Yeah.
You know, everyone plays that. So,
Which say Counter-Strike Go.
Right.
Anyway, guys, moving on, we have so Microsoft showed off the power of the cloud. They had a demo where they had a PC hooked up to the cloud, and a PC that was just running off the server itself. And what happened was they were shooting at the building with some sort of projectile weapon, and the building started crumbling, started exploding. All these little particles started coming off it, and the game actually tanked. It was like
4 FPS.
Yeah.
Literally 4.
Like when I'm trying to play Crisis. Yeah, high. Whoa.
And then they had the other one, which was powered by the cloud, as they showed off. And that one was perfectly fine. They kept firing at the building, the building crumbled, no issue at all.
And for me, a fairly respectable for console, FPS of 34, which was pretty good.
30 to
But
34.
the demo was very, very tasty. It was
Yeah, no, I like it. It's kind of it's Microsoft showing that hardware, well, or trying to prove that hardware was a thing of the past, and that all you're going to need is an Xbox One. Sure, it might be less powerful than a PS4, but with the power of the cloud, does it really matter? I mean, you'd be able to, using Microsoft's cloud service, you'd be able to pump out graphics and, like I said, FPS is, you know.
All the
Yeah,
FPS.
I don't like that. Frames per second
FPS.
equal to that, if not better to that of a PlayStation 4 using the cloud. So it just makes hardware kind of obsolete.
Well, that assumes that their user base has, really consistent and really fast internet.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It doesn't need to be really fast internet. As some game streaming services have demonstrated, an 8 meg connection, which we all have at least an 8 meg connection, is enough to stream 1080p video games.
And that's like the minimum requirement. So
Yeah,
And that's fine,
there
that's
are
fine.
still a few people, well,
There
I mean
are
a few, I mean a lot of people across Ireland that are still only on 2 meg.
Across
Yeah,
Ireland,
and
across
then-
America,
and
across
then that's going to be-
everywhere.
Playing Xbox One.
Probably not, no, of course. Anyone who is interested in gaming tends to, well, try their best to get a decent internet connection, if possible. But yeah, obviously you've got your graphical issues. Well,
But the
Service.
interesting thing about this demo for me is that we finally actually have a practical example of what Microsoft has been hailing since since the Xbox One's debut, I should say, and the power of the cloud. And it's really become this kind of marketing jingo now. The power of the cloud is this really nebulous term that's thrown around.
nobody knows what the cloud is.
Yes. And
That's interesting
it's
because
interesting to have an actual practical example.
Yeah.
back in 2008, I saw a demo of a wireless lamp powered by wireless electricity. And we still haven't seen that, and no one using that.
Yeah.
So I wonder when that power of the cloud will enter the Xbox One.
That's just it.
I'd say honestly, it's a few years down the road. I'd say it's about 4 or 5 years
yeah,
down
only
the
time
road.
will tell what this
Realistically.
actually means for the gaming scene.
Exactly.
We'll find out.
Right.
So
Sorry,
yeah.
I just want to add one thing. For people interested, there is a game out there right now which does achieve this kind of large-scale destruction, and it doesn't use any kind of cloud computing or anything like that. It does this on a local machine. It's called Next Car Game. It's more so a tech demo than anything else right now. It's a Kickstarter project, I believe. It's very interesting. Go check it out.
Plug! Woo! Anyway.
We don't get paid for this.
No, we
Well,
don't.
anyway,
Yeah,
some-
no, I
some
saw a
like
little
a
bit about that. That was pretty cool.
Maybe
Moving
the
on.
guys from Ladder.
Some news from this week, more recent news. So Sony Online Entertainment announced a huge MMO, which they have been teasing for quite a while now. It's called H1Z1, and it's a zombie MMO.
Oh, yeah, this looks fun. I like it,
Basically,
yeah.
it's like DayZ on a larger scale.
There's about 3 or 4 different zombie kind of games that are moving towards this kind of MMO stuff. I mean, you've got DayZ, you've got what's that one that
The Warzy, was it?
No.
The one that was...
The Warzy,
7 Days
that
Alive or
show.
7 Days Left?
yeah, 7 days to live.
7 Days to Live. There's a few of them all.
7
But
Days
yeah,
to
Die,
so
yeah.
Let's Die. That's it. I couldn't remember the name of it. But they're all kind
The
of.
direct opposite of what she said.
But yeah, no, I think it looks good, and I love the name. H1Z1 is, for those of you that didn't know, it's the H1N1 virus was the swine flu virus, and that's where it was a joke that was done online. With
Really?
BBC.
Was that one straight
really?
over my head. I mean, I would never have gotten that. Thanks for the
I think it's
explanation
actually
there.
Bird Flu, wasn't it?
Or Bird or swine flu,
Anyway,
one of the two. But I thought it's quite a nice little joke, and I'm looking forward. I think it'll be quite good.
Just as a side note, today on Friday the 18th of April, they actually have a live stream of the game, so you could probably find it on YouTube whenever you listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whenever this podcast is out, you'll be able to check this thing out.
Free to play? Did they say it was free to play
They
or
haven't announced a
subscriptions?
What?
It will be
no,
free to
yeah,
play,
at the minute
but
you
they
can,
haven't organised how.
No, isn't it at the minute you can pay? I think it's $20 or at least $9.99 on the Steam Greenlight, and then you can do that now when the game is actually fully released. It will be free to play.
And have they said consoles? I know PC is a definite. We know PC.
Yeah,
Have they said
obviously-
PS3 or PS4?
Obviously,
Which of the
because
two?
it's only the rumors of PS4.
PS4, but
Right now it's
no
PC,
PS3.
But, I mean,
Okay.
if you look at Fanside 2, that game came out on PC and it's coming out on PS4 very soon. So I'd say it'd be follow the same sort of structure. So it'll come out on PC first, and then maybe a year later it'll come out on PS4.
PS4 has been quite good with the whole indie games and transferring PC games and free to plays and everything.
Sure, yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. So, also, big news, a new Civilization game was announced. It's called Beyond Earth. So, yeah, it's basically, so usually the way Civilization works is you start from, like, Dark Ages, where you have no technology at all, and you work your way up, and you build spaceships. Basically, and then
But you never get to go
into space, that's the thing. But now, with this game, they're saying you actually start off in space, you're starting beyond Earth, so,
Oh, okay.
and then you're working your way up from there.
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's definitely a step forward. I mean, they've had 5 Civilization games. This is
It's about time.
a new direction.
It'd be interesting to see. I mean, I think we've all played a Civilization game at one point.
Yes.
I know, we'll probably play this.
yeah,
Definitely.
looks good.
It's really cool as well just to see like this re-emergence of the 4X strategy genre. There was this kind of drive of those games for quite a while, and now they're moving back and forth. It's great to see.
Age of Wonders 3.
Yes.
Ooh, Age of Mythology.
Age of Mythology, the
Age of
really
Mythology.
Coming back, guys. It's coming back.
So the Age of Mythology is being re-released as a HD version with new lighting effects, AAP Sports, Twitch TV streaming built in game,
Full Steam Workshop support as well.
which will be amazing
Yeah.
because we could get new.
Who knows?
new
Who
items for all
knows? Who
them.
knows what you can get? That's pretty much
Think
it.
of all the hats we could get. But yeah,
We could replace the dragons with My Little Pony, just like in Skyrim.
Or just replace everything with hats.
or Thomas the Tank Engine. I saw that mod on Skyrim where the dragon was replaced with Thomas the Tank. I was just like, anyway.
We'll be talking about mods later.
So Ars Technica revealed that they're actually conducting a study on Steam, and so they're going through all the public profiles, looking at what people are playing over the years, and basically trying to find out what the more popular games are. Some interesting statistics came up. For example, Dota 2 has 25.9 million players and owners. So, so all I hear is very happy, and
I'm also happy with choir.
I'm happy, but I'm kind of sad because I know it feels like you play a lot of Dota 2.
yeah. So what other notable games? Team Fortress 2, another free game available on Steam, has 20.3 million players and owners. Counter-Strike Source is next up with about 8.9. Another interesting statistic they actually showed was that about 36.9% of players actually never play the game after they bought it.
See, that doesn't surprise me at all, because when I look at my catalogue of Steam games, I've just games like, they came on sale for €2 and you're like, I'm never going to play it, but it's so cheap, I can't not buy it, do you know?
I believe that I will play all of the games.
So do I, yeah, but realistically
someday.
it never will.
I mean, the thing is, it has gotten, I am ashamed to admit, to the sad state where I was looking through my catalogue there the other day and I said, oh, I own Outlast. I didn't know I owned that game.
But actually, just to get back to the Dota thing, what was the number of active players? 29?
26.9.
26.9 million players. That's more people playing that game than there are people living in Australia. That's terrifying.
Of all the countries you could have chosen,
I,
there are so many countries that less
it was the
than
only
20 million
country. It's
people.
the only country I could think of that had roughly 20 million people living there.
That's just 10 million behind League of Legends. They're catching up.
Oh, League of Legends have more people playing it than Dota.
Yeah, well, it's been around for longer.
It's
So
been
that's
around for
crazy. That's
And
a
it's
crazy number of
It's just
people.
like what, 100 million
So,
less
like-
than Call of Duty?
But if you take those people, right, you've got like that's nearly 50 million people playing MOBAs
Yeah.
online every day,
Sure.
actively. That's terrifying.
What was the
I mean, if you could just like band together and do something
Yeah,
productive.
we made it. We made an
if we could
esport.
just band together and play Dota,
Or longer.
and just get rid of all the other ones.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
So yeah, one more bit of news we have here. Martin O'Donnell Halo fame. He's the
Marty.
composer
Yeah.
for the famous, Halo games.
Pretty much any song from
Which I've
Halo
never heard of them.
that you
No,
any good song from Halo was composed by Marty. He was unreal. The whole
the original game, yeah, the really memorable.
that's
Yeah,
Marty's
yeah.
like the best.
We know exactly which song you mean.
So,
Well, yeah, of course.
Finish Despite is the best one, let's be honest.
So he's been fired. Bungie
Yeah.
basically just said the board of directors came together and said, "Man, we got you gone," and he's offered no explanation. Basically, he tweeted on Twitter and said that he was fired without cause. So
Yeah.
he doesn't even know why he was fired. He just stuck up.
At the end of the day, bad decision, Bungie. Really bad decision. I mean, he's one of the best composers in video games out there. I mean, I think he's up there with good film composers like Danny Elfman and whatnot. He's one of the best.
Agree, yeah.
He's one of the best, and getting rid of him.
And
very
I
poor
will
decision.
say, like, I really haven't played the Halo games, but the little bits of the games that I have played,
Best thing
I
about
remember,
it.
I remember
yeah.
the music.
Best
I
thing
remember
about it
the
was the music. Yeah.
Yeah, most memorable part of Halo.
Maybe he's just a really, really mean guy.
No, well, he was very loud in that he voiced his opinion a lot. Any interviews he watched, I think what it was, he didn't like possibly this is me, guessing, but hypothesizing. He didn't like the direction that maybe Bungie as a company were going, or the new Destiny game. He didn't like the direction as well. He voiced his opinion. They didn't want.
I was just like to say, I don't actually think he's that guy. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, he's loved, and he was very well respected amongst Bungie employees. But as we've noticed since Bungie have moved, well, I suppose under Activision, kind of under Activision. I know there's issues in their contract, but more and more original Bungie guys are leaving, and it's all new talent that have entered. Do you know?
All over again.
Possibly, yeah. But no, it's at the end of the day, bad decision, Bungie. Very bad decision.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably finished composing all the music for the new Destiny game. And he's did all of sure put it off, so he costs a lot to maintain, so just get rid of it.
Exactly. Well, actually, honestly though, it seems like it's a fad happening in the video game industry lately. I mean, you've got Amy Hennig, you've got Justin as well from Naughty Dog who's gone as well, and then Marty. I mean, David Hayter kicked off as the voice of MGS. The companies just want to get rid of really good talent.
It's good. They'll just all make Kickstarters and make little indie games.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be happy.
Exactly.
Just on the subject of David Hayter, if he is doing the voice work in a Kickstarter game, boom, game's Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. All the money.
I still am skeptical about the whole David Hayter situation.
You think he's going to turn up in the end or something? I hope.
Because after finishing Ground Zeroes, I just think the fact that they've gone through such effort to keep it in and plug it so much, Snake doesn't speak a whole lot in that little 20-minute demo.
That's what it is, a 20-minute demo.
Yeah,
right?
For €20.
€40 to actually get it in the shop.
Yeah, it was for once the Xbox Live in the marketplace. It was cheaper to download it. Than
Oh, really?
Wow.
That's impressive. That's normally
Okay.
Wow.
Obviously, it's $199 on disc.
Yeah, see, normally it's the opposite. Normally it's like 40 or $54.99 for a brand new game, and then when you go to download it on PlayStation Store, it's like $60 straight, you know.
But as far as
Or
people get
€60.
fired, I'm still very skeptical because to get such a big name and not actually use him, I don't know.
And you see, the thing is, as well, of course, Ground Zeroes is sort of a prequel for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
And I know there's been a lot of speculation flying around the internet that the person who you play as in 5 is actually just another person,
Another Connor.
cosmetically altered to look like Big Boss. So what if Big Boss is voiced by...
It's crazy.
yes, he really is. Big Boss is voiced by Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
The clones are voiced by Hayter.
Yeah.
I
See,
think
like,
it'd be the other way around.
No, but if it-
I think it'd be the other way around.
possibly.
Yeah,
But if it
that would
turns
make more
out,
sense.
if it turns out that this is like Metal Gear Solid 2 all over again, where he's going to make you believe one thing, and then as soon as you actually play the game, it's
So
completely
completely
different.
different.
You're playing as a new Raiden or something like that, and that person is voiced by Hayter. And I'm gonna.
See, you never know Kojima, he's a crazy guy.
Oh yeah, crazy
Yeah,
guy, completely.
But yeah, let's move on, guys. So that's the end of the news section this week. We're going to go on to what have you guys been playing? So I'm going to start with Damo. So Damien here.
Well, I've been playing all the usual PC classics like Farmville.
Candy Crush.
That is a classic now.
No, but I'm trying to go back and finish all the games that I just never did in the series, so I'm working on...
In the Farmville series.
Yeah, man.
The Cal expansion.
Australia Desert, that
Oh, wow.
was awesome. So Mass Effect 2, I'm playing
Great game.
Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
Never played it. Is it any good?
Yeah, it's
So,
awesome. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I like most of it.
I always like to look at Tom Clancy games. Always look great,
And
but I never get around to playing them.
the cloaking device where you go invisible.
That's deadly.
It's you feel badass.
Awesome.
Great. Anything else you want to talk about? I mean, tell us about, like, you weren't here on the first podcast, so tell us what your gaming taste was.
Well, obviously, I'm deep rooted in the PC gaming community, as I said. Farmville. No, but I'm a console master race.
Yeah, woo! Finally! My numbers are growing!
I have been since the Super Nintendo, which brought gaming to the mainstream. You can say what you like about PCs, but that's where it started.
Exactly.
You know, I've always been
a man of my own taste.
PlayStation 1 just glamorized it, and now it is what it is.
Cool.
Consoles.
Xbox.
Well, nobody's perfect, okay?
This podcast will quickly split.
Two groups. But anyway,
let's have our own podcast of blackjack hookers.
The PCs.
And,
what else have you been playing, guys?
Dean?
Well, I actually haven't been playing much this week. I've been working on my Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion mod collection. I got back into the old game recently just because I played a lot of Skyrim, about 200 hours in that game, and I eventually got to the stage where it just started to bore me. You know, it felt small, it felt inactive. You know, the world just didn't seem to have that kind of liveliness, that pace that Oblivion's world did, or the Fallout or Fallout New Vegas' world did, or Fallout 3's. So I kind of went back and I wanted to, throw a load of mods into Oblivion to try and create something that was, worth my taste. So I just started off. I wanted to start off with some overhaul mods for the gameplay. The gameplay is a bit. It was bad when it came out. It's even worse now. But the underlying RPG mechanics of that game are solid enough. So there's overhauls for where you play as a vampire, adds in werewolves. There's overhauls for.
Basically, there's a mod for everything.
Yeah,
everything you can
the mod community for that game is so rich. There's so much you can find. It's great. I'm having an absolute blast.
Awesome.
I think Dean is right. The mod community for the Elder Scrolls games are just amazing. Definitely check that out.
Personally, my favourite is the Thomas the Tank Engine replacing Dragon's mod.
That's you haven't played Skyrim until you really unsheathe your sword.
What I'm really looking forward to then is the Skywind.
Oh, Skywind.
Makes it Morrowind and Skyrim.
Some fans got together and they said, let's make this mod.
Isn't it just one guy?
I think it's a couple of people. Well, one guy started off and other people are contributing to it.
I'm sure
it's the fully fledged, 18-hour.
I'm sure it'd be difficult enough for one guy to make it. I'd say he's got a few friends or,
Well, I mean, it's not going to be completely polished, but it has voice actors that have.
He's been working on this for years, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, it's been available for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was just one guy.
So, that's pretty cool. But what's even cooler is time to rebuild, where there's a huge modding community trying to rebuild all of the Elder Scrolls games in the Morrowind engine. And they're very far.
Yeah. That's going to be massive, though. I mean, that's going to be a huge.
It's already massive. They're quite far in the building process. Obviously, it's taking years.
Yeah.
And how big will the file size for that game be?
Well, it's Morrowind, so it's 6 megabytes. Yeah. But that's fine.
Well, rebuilt in the
Morrowind engine.
The Morrowind engine. It's really okay.
No, I'm kidding about 6 megabytes. It's going to be huge.
At the moment, they have about almost 100%, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Of mainland Morrowind, though, because I know in the original Morrowind, you don't actually have to explore the entire province, certain sections of it.
Just explore the island.
So they've got almost the entirety of Morrowind done, and I believe they're starting to move on to other areas now.
Cool. And they're building quests. They're doing voice work. They're building.
They're actually redoing the voice work themselves.
They're doing the voice work
themselves.
I like they're writing more
cool.
lore and more books.
Yeah.
They're just doing everything.
It's
a very ambitious project.
It's going to be huge.
But I don't know.
We'll keep an eye out for it.
Stay tuned.
Sounds good, yeah.
And whilst on the topic, anyone who plays Xbox and is a fan of Skyrim, if you don't have already, the Dragonborn DLC is now only $4.39 in the spring sale, and it's usually $8.99.
Brilliant, yeah. That's great.
Good to know.
And Oleg, what are you playing? Aside from Dota.
I've tried my hand at some roguelites, and it's not very good. I've been playing Rogue Legacy for about...
Rogue Legacy?
Yeah, last week. I played about, 5 or 6 hours, and I'm just absolutely terrible.
And what's it like?
So the premise is that you enter this castle as a adventurer, and you get as far as you can, you die, and then your descendant takes your place. And based on how much gold you've picked up, your descendant can then buy some new armor, some new spells, and other interesting things. But so it's really cool. But the catch of the game is that every one of your descendants has a unique attribute or disability. So some of them fart all the time. Some of them see only in black and white. Some of them are gay. I don't know if that's I don't know how that affects gameplay, but that's one of the attributes.
Makes it fabulous.
No, but that's one of the attributes.
But what I'm saying is, once you've died and respawned enough times, the game actually says, you know what, I'm going to permadeath you.
It hasn't yet, and in fairness, I have died so much.
Yeah, I remember you showed me.
Terrible
I was watching him play it, and he died. Well, I asked him to die because I wanted to see what would happen. And he came back as a guy who was colorblind and short-sighted, I think it was, or was it far-sighted. So everything around you was blurred. The screen was all black and white, and it could really affect gameplay. I think it was pretty cool.
Really cool.
Pretty cool concept.
There's one that I got which was really inconvenient, where everything was upside down.
Oh, come on.
That sounds awesome.
It was absolutely terrible. So it's a very great roguelike game. I think I played it for a long time because I really enjoyed it, but I'm absolutely terrible at
I should probably actually
scrolling
say,
action games.
you shouldn't feel bad about being bad at a roguelike after only playing 5 hours. I've played like 70 hours of The Binding of Isaac, and I only after maybe about 50 hours was I actually able to complete that.
That's
I
a
played an hour and a
difficult
half.
game.
It's
Very
really
difficult game.
I played an hour and a half to it, and I thought, you know what? I'm thinking about 70 hours to get through this. Another game I've played a lot of is Don't Starve, which is getting a new expansion now. Oh, expansion. Yeah. You call it that. And it's an excellent game, and I played about 12 hours of it. But again, I'm just absolutely terrible.
Okay, well, Dave.
I've been playing. Well, I haven't had a huge amount of time to actually sit down and get a proper session through, but I've been playing a few things there and there. I mean, I went back to Broken Age, got a little bit further in it again. If you haven't got Broken Age, check it out. It's great. Double Finer, just as good as they've always been. You know, it's a beautiful game. It's fun to play. It's not offensively funny. It's kind of silly, family funny. Family, kind of like a family movie. You know, like Nemo. That kind of humor. It's good. Like, it is good. I'm enjoying it. Then obviously I've been playing Lufthansa some more because it's just so addictive and it's actually really fun. But yesterday I decided to crack open Arkham Origins. Started playing that. Played it for about 4 or 5 hours, rough give or take. But I mean it's exactly what you expect. It's the same. It's essentially Arkham City, just with new story.
And is there anything you can formula?
No, not really. But if you liked Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, play it. It's good. I mean, if you want more of that, then go out and play it. It's worth that.
Cool.
But if you're expecting anything new, it's gonna let you down. But no, it's still good. I mean, it's not great, not bad. It's good.
Sweet.
Yeah. And yourself, lad.
Yeah.
What have you
Well,
got?
I've been playing a little bit here and there. I've played a bit of Bioshock Infinite, Buried at Sea Episode 1.
Ooh, and what did
So,
you think?
I don't know.
No spoiling. No spoilers.
No spoiling. I really enjoy it. I mean, I like really like the setting. I mean, Buried at Sea, we know that it's out underwater. It's in Rapture, okay? I do think it's basically it's set before everything went to shit. So we have if you wander around the city exploring it, everything's alive, kind of like Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to see Rapture being just being in this setting, and I was just interested to see how they manifest this in the game world, and I think they did a pretty good job. I was talking to people, go to people, your conversations are quite interesting. They're referring back to the original Bioshock game, so that's kind of cool.
That's good to know.
So this is after the fall, so to speak.
No, it's before the
No,
fall,
it's
isn't
before.
it? Yeah. It's when the city was alive and everything was buzzing.
Yeah.
But then how are they referring to the original Bioshock game?
They're referring because of the history, so
Okay.
that's what I mean. I mean,
They're
they're not referring to the
future.
events, but the events that you hear of in the original Bioshock.
Yes.
Are things that you've heard of already in Bioshock 1.
Yeah,
That's what I imagine.
So in that sense,
Yeah.
it does refer back to Bioshock.
Very cool.
But yeah, I finally got to the combat part of it,
Yeah.
and it's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
pretty much
Have they improved on anything, or is it just
it's pretty much the same thing
pretty
there.
much the same? Okay.
Just saying, doesn't need any improvement.
No, great combat system. Very fun.
Yeah.
Fun. I mean, well, aside from as we talked about before, the tower defense section of the final act in the game. So
So
it's one thing I didn't like about it.
some people like it, some people
Yeah, no, exactly. And I remember you telling me that you were playing the Brothers Tale 2 Sons.
So, yeah, I played a little bit of that. I got maybe halfway through the game. I think it's not a very long game, but it's really interesting because there's not a single word of actual spoken English in the game or any language.
Sounds very artsy.
It's very pretty. I mean, it's very, very pretty.
No, it's definitely one I'd like to play myself and get around to. You recommend it, yeah?
Oh, I would definitely, because the control system is very interesting because you're better off really controlling it with your analog sticks. I don't even know if you can play on the mouse and keyboard, but basically the way it works is you have two brothers and you control the left one with the left analog stick. Sorry, one of them you control the left and the other controls the right analog stick. And you're solving puzzles and you're doing various, action set pieces like that. You're encountering people and the thing is, like I said, there's not a word of English or any language, so they talk in this kind of weird sim speak sort of language.
Kind of googly guy, but it's Google.
The way it actually set the story is very good because it's basically the emotion of the characters and what they like their emotion and the way they say things.
Kind of like Journey. I mean, I know that in Journey there's no voice acting at all. There's just this noise you make, and that's the only way to communicate.
Yeah, except they do talk. It's just a noise. It's jibber jabber. It's nothing.
Sounds interesting.
And so I think we're getting quite into that now, and I want to just finish the game now and maybe finish Bioshock Infinite, Verity episode 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So that's where we're now. If there's any other games you want to talk about, guys, now's the time.
Trials Fusions just got released.
Trials Fusions, that's actually on PS4 now as well.
Is it actually on PS4? I wasn't sure. That was Xbox.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I might look into picking that up. Always fun game, Trials games, yeah.
Well, Trials games, I love them, but I am a bit straight off Massachusetts when it comes to those games. I try to perfect them. I mean, I could literally spend hours on the same course just trying to get that gold medal.
Yeah.
And I never really go ahead, even though as you get more medals, you unlock all the next tracks. But that's just I think it's sort of like a collection. You have to get them. You have to get your achievements. So the Trials Fusions is obviously they've advanced the physics. The physics are really good. You can do tricks. They have like in-game mini games. There's you're going to lose or jumping to shoot the rider off the bike and get as far as you can. So again, it's just fun, It's a game that takes itself seriously.
Simple arcade fun, silliness, what some games should be.
Well, I don't think it warrants the €20 price tag.
Is that the price tag?
The €20 isn't that bad. I mean, how much content are you getting with the game?
Well, it says the game comes with 60 tracks to race on, and obviously you get your multiplayer, there's mini games, and of course there's track creator. You have access to tracks that everyone in the world has made. I suppose.
Pretty cool.
So there is a track creator, is there? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that.
I'd like to mention Child of Light. Myself and Ryan are very excited.
And Dave. Dave is there. Dave is interested in it. Dave will pick it up.
Pre-ordered.
Dave will look into pre-ordering it soon. It does look great though. I mean, Orlik sent me a few videos of it.
I mean, it's like a watercolor painting that's interactive.
It's beautiful. The game is literally stunning. I've watched a few of the trailers and it's beautiful. It literally looks like a painting. And the art designer behind it is actually one of the guys who was an original Final Fantasy art director. So I'm really excited for the game. And basically, the game is turn-based. So it's set on a 2D plane. So
It's
you're
a
running around.
2D RPG.
Yeah, it's 2D RPG. It's set on 2D. It's a 2.5D sort of thing where you're running around and do kind of like a little bit of platforming, solving a few puzzles. But then there's this action, well, not action actually. It's a turn-based RPG system. So it's a combat basically stops and you take turns. So you get the enemy's actions, you have actions, and it's actually a co-op game as well. So I'm not sure how that works.
I don't care. It's
But it'll
absolutely
be
great.
interesting to see.
Also, just
Castle
point out,
Crasher style or something kind of co-op Castle Crasher style, possibly.
the price of it, it's really good value.
Yeah.
For £16 out of €20.
Yeah.
We got an A2 poster, a keyring, a soundtrack, an art book, and a digital download game.
Now, is it a Kickstarter? Is it a
No,
Kickstarter?
it's a game.
it's made by Ubisoft.
Oh, it's a Ubisoft
It's a
game.
Ubisoft game, it's a published game.
You've been to this, I don't know if you know, but the writer from Far Cry 3 is actually writing this game. So, and the way it's written is really interesting as well because it's all rhyme. Every single verse in the game.
That sounds amazing.
Rhymed.
And
So
then
that's
there's one character who
weird or it's neat, basically.
Yeah.
And there's one character who fails to rhyme over and over again, and the rest of the characters keep trying to correct him and get him to rhyme properly. Because being asked.
No, definitely one to look out for. Now, I want to talk about something that I would never normally talk about ever.
It happens
MOBAs.
to everybody, Dave.
It does, yeah.
MOBAs.
MOBAs happen to everyone. I want to talk about MOBAs, mainly because I can never understand them, I can never see the fun behind them, but I'm willing to give them a try in the shape of Infinite Crisis. I haven't started it yet, but I'm going to try it. And obviously you're all dying to talk about Dota, so we can...
Well, we can say that for our Dota special.
Yeah, we'll probably have some sort of a Dota special or
Okay.
talk about Dota. But, so what is Infinite Crisis?
Well, Infinite Crisis is essentially, it's more in the League of Legends style, that it's easier to pick up, it's more mainstream, less sophisticated, so to speak, and DC characters. I mean, if I'm ever going to get into a MOBA, it's going to be through this. If not, there'll be never any hope for me.
I mean, let's just put this on the record. If that game is in any way true to the canon that it comes from, Batman and Superman should be seriously OP, and all the other characters should be rubbish.
By OP means
By OP
overpowered.
means overpowered.
Yes, yeah. I picked up on some of this MOBA speak.
Let's just assume that our listeners know what OP means. Unless there's a poster.
Every single multiplayer game nowadays whereby you have any form of combat, you should know what OP means. Every game. I mean, if you play Call of Duty, you've got 12-year-olds giving out because you use your OP gun.
Exactly, you can play a multiplayer game, but not everyone plays multiplayer.
Yeah, see, I don't play any multiplayer games that aren't maybe a LAN between 2 or 3 of us or something here, or PlayStation 2 player, whatever, you know. But yeah, no, I'll be interested. Like, I'll let everyone know what I feel of it.
Yeah, so
like, it'll be an honest opinion, whether it's good or bad. Yeah, no, exactly. So keep tuned for that.
Just remember, you need to play at least 10 games to even understand what's
Oh, of
going on
course.
around
Like,
you.
even if I hate it, I'm going to force myself to play enough games that I can actually turn around and say, yeah, well, I forced stuff down my throat and I didn't like it.
Not for the first time, eh?
Okay. It's time to talk about some blasphemy. I played a great mobile game
Lies! This man is a liar.
called Ridiculous
Stone
Fishing.
him! Stone him to death! Go on.
Ridiculous Fishing. Has anybody played Ridiculous Fishing?
No, I've heard of it.
It's great. Well, the idea behind it is, right, you're a fisherman. You throw your lure down, and you avoid fish as you're going down by tilting your phone, right? And when you get to as low as you can, the lure starts going back up, and you're supposed to catch as many fish as you can. And then when it gets to the sea level, all the fish fly into the air, and you have to shoot them out of the air with a gun. It's pretty awesome.
I kind of want to try that.
It's a lot of fun. And then you can get upgrades and new guns and anti-gravity for the fish to fly higher, and attach a chainsaw to your lure and attach a toaster to your lure. It's pretty cool.
Actually, I would like to talk about a really good, just...
As opposed to the one that I talked about.
Well, no, this is one we can all agree on, Badlands. If you haven't picked up Badlands online, pick it up. It's great. It's like Flappy Bird, but good.
Please don't compare any game to
Okay.
What are you doing?
Okay, that's for you.
Sorry,
Badlands is very good.
The only Flappy Bird that was good was Maverick Bird. If you haven't played that, play it.
Google it.
Or Flappy Birch from the Sesame Street.
Ernie.
Ernie. That was a great one.
The only mobile game that I actually have on my phone is Knights of Pen and Paper. It's an old one. It's a turn-based RPG, as if you're actually playing the board game in real life.
That's very cool.
Game and
What's it like?
yeah, it's really interesting, and obviously, you can decorate the room with different tables or different board masters, or you can get foods, and they all give you the perks in the actual game world if you like. It's really interesting.
What about Rim Capsule?
Rim. I don't know how to actually
Rim
say it.
Capsule.
Rim Capsule.
Rim Capsule is a great game. It's the most minimalist game I've ever played. It's the most minimalist strategy game I've ever played.
Oh.
Where you control troops, you have guns, you have alien spaceship and it's invading you, and it's all done, and it's all represented by different colored squares.
Yeah.
So
I think it's on Android, iOS, PC.
It's PC. And it's an impressive feat of design, if nothing else. So I was just...
Speaking of, just another mobile game throw there, Game Dev Story, if you haven't played that before. There's a free demo on the App Store.
So many hours.
Yeah,
so many hours.
It's pretty good.
It's really addictive.
It's one of those really addictive games.
It's simplistic and, I mean, you can play it for a while. One thing I found with it was I played it for like 5 or 10 hours, and then after that I never came back to it.
Yeah, but at least you got 5 or 10 hours of
I know, I got
there's a big difference there. you got a couple hours of enjoyment. It was worth. It's one of the better.
It's one of those games you can replay, but I never had the... I never felt like I wanted to replay it again, because it's kind of a similar thing. You do the same thing over and over again. Yeah, so, I mean, unless there's something else, anything else you guys want to talk about?
No, I think we're all done, yeah.
So
Till next week.
That's the end of podcast episode 2.5. I'm just going to give a few contact details here, guys. So we have a Gmail account now. That's gamesblurb@gmail.com. We have the website. That's gamesblurb.com.
So you can email us with any news or any comments that you have about the podcast.
And don't forget to check gamesblurb.com regularly, and if you like any posts, or
actually,
share all of our posts if
by
you
the
find it interesting.
By the time this goes up, we'll have a review for South Park Stick of Truth.
Oh, done by myself. Yes, it's a great game. I was just bottom line, pick it up. If you're a South Park fan, pick it up immediately. If you're not a South Park fan and you're okay with offensive humor, give it a shot. It's a good game. It's a very good game.
Yeah. So and also don't forget to go to the Facebook page. That's Facebook.com/GamesBlurb as well, and like the page. Give us a comment, share. But yeah, we're just gonna give everyone Twitter now. So I'm at Blabdeck. Oleg is at Oleg Brajnik, so it's BRAZHNYK.
You need to spell that?
Well, to be fair, he kind of does.
Dave is at not Dave Dunn.
Yep. Don't be shy. You can send us messages on Twitter, and we'll talk. I mean, if you so wish, we'll talk about it on the podcast.
You can
any
send
questions?
Us threads, you can send us pictures of yourself. You can send us.
Well, actually, direct all your pictures of yourself to Oleg. So that's at Oleg. Is it at Oleg? Oleg Brajnik.
You definitely want to do this the courtesy of shaving before you take those pictures.
Exactly.
Leave
nothing to the imagination.
Demo here is at DMNBHN, so it's Damien Behan.
Without the bells.
Without the bells.
Yeah.
And Dean here is Asbestos Cake.
Which is the worst cake. Most disappointing birthday.
I laugh every time I hear that. Asbestos Cake.
So yeah, feel free to contact us, guys. We're always available. Give us a shout, and we'll reply to whatever you have. But I'm at Bladbeck, and we also have a Twitter for Games Blurb now. That's at the Games Blurb, so it's at the Games Blurb.
Perfect.
So that's it, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Podcast. Yep. Thanks for listening.
We'll see you again
See you
soon.
next week.
Bye.
Bye.